AEW Grand Slam. Whoo boy, what two shows they were, huh? AEW Grand Slam. That was fun. That was fun. So we're gonna go over both nights. AEW Grand Slam. The Dynamite one and the Rampage one. Isn't that gonna be fun? That'll be fun. Okay, so we kicked off the Dynamite version of a Grand Slam with the ROH World Championship match. We had Claudio Castagnoli defending the belt against Chris Jericho. I thought this match was really fun. This was a really good real good opener. We had, of course, the big moment with the swing. Who doesn't love the swing? But yeah, this match was great, and the fact that apparently these two have really actually only fought each other one time in singles before, which I believe was it was at the draft in 2016. It just boggles my mind because they're so good together, these two. I don't know how this is the second time they fought one-on-one. But in the end, and I can't believe I said this, Chris Jericho, he nailed Claudio with a low blow. He hit the Judas effect, and Chris Jericho is the new Ring of Honor World Champion. He's the Ocho. He did it. He is the Ocho. He has done it. The Ocho. I absolutely did not think Chris Jericho was going to win at all. No, not one bit did I think Chris Jericho was going to win the belt. I just thought, this is going to be a nice, cool win for Claudio to keep his reign going. But no, Chris Jericho won. I mean, I'm not against it because I know that this is going to play into the Daniel Garcia stuff, so I know that there's a plan, unlike some people who just complain and complain. I know that there's actual thought behind this. And this coming Dynamite, they're going to do Celebration. So I'm looking forward to that. But just think also, we're in a timeline where Chris Jericho's the ROH champion. Just think of that. Swerve in Our Glory. Hate that name. Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland defended the AEW Tag Team titles against the Acclaimed. This, again, was a good match, but we all knew the finish because of what happened at All Out. We knew what the finish had to be, and it was that. In the end, the Acclaimed Max Caster, he hit that mic drop, and he and Anthony Bowens won the tag team titles. The Acclaimed are your new AEW Tag Team Champions. That was the right decision, and yeah, I'm real happy for them, man. Swerve was very leaning into he's the heel one, and Keith Lee he's just there, you know. So yeah, that match was real fun. Then we had Pac defending the AEW All Atlantic Championship against Orange Cassidy. This is Pac's, I believe, 4th All Atlantic title defense. So, and him versus Orange Cassidy, we're new in that rivalry. Real good match between these two. When isn't it? But Pac won by cheating. Oh my god. He went over to the timekeeper area and he nailed Orange Cassidy with the mallet for the ring bell when the ref couldn't see it. And then he pinned him like that. And people are like, oh, Pac's a heel now. Pac was always a heel. Pac's always been a heel, guys. I don't know how you ever thought he was a face. Pac has always been, to me, a heel tweener. He just does what he wants. So, him doing that, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But these two had a great match. Absolutely fantastic. Do I need to tell you that these two had a great match? Pac and Orange Cassidy. Then we had Toni Storm defend her interim AEW Women's World Championship against Serena Deeb, Athena, and Dr. Britt Baker. This was a nice, fun match. between all four of these. However, it did not go the way I thought it was. Britt Baker got rolled up and pinned by Toni Storm, so Toni Storm retained. I expected Toni Storm to retain, but I did not expect it to just end like that. I expected what would happen was Britt Baker would have one of the three other women pinned. It looked like she was going to win, and then Jamie Hayter would cost her, like how Britt cost Jamie. After the match, Britt Baker, Rebel, and Serena D were beating up Athena and Toni Storm. Jamie Hayter came out looking to make the save. Everyone was cheering, and then Jamie Hayter attacked Toni Storm, and she and Britt Baker are friends again. I am not okay with this at all. You had something, Toni. You know you had something. The crowd was chanting for Jamie at All Out. They were rooting for her. And you're just like, we're going to go back to square one. Because everyone has been waiting for that Jamie Hayter turn on Britt Baker for a long time now. And it's like, we're about to get it. And he goes, nah, you're not going to actually get it. And it could just be like what they did with Luchasaurus, where it's like, yay, they're friends again. But the Luchasaurus thing, you could tell, oh yeah, he's not actually Jungle Boy's friend. This is clearly a ploy by Christian. This one looks like that they're actually back to being friends again. And I'm not for that, Tony. Tony Khan, I'm not for that. You need to fix this. Jamie Hayter needs some gold. Then in the main event, Jon Moxley versus Bryan Danielson for the vacant AEW World Championship. This was, again, a really good match. All the matches on this show were just fantastic. They were great. Like, in-ring rise, this Dynamite was fantastic. Like, all the matches were top tier. Oh, I almost forgot. Before I get into this main event, MJF cut a promo with Wheeler Yuta. And it ended, of course, with W. Morrissey holding Wheeler Yuta up, and MJF nailed him with the Dynamite ring. So I could see we have an MJF Wheeler Yuta match. That'd be cool. Maybe next week on Dynamite. But anyway, back to the main event. Jon Moxley versus Bryan Danielson. Really good match. In the end, though, Jon Moxley made Bryan Danielson pass out, and Jon Moxley is now a 3-time world champion. I am not for this. I am not really for this. And it's nothing against Jon Moxley. I love Jon Moxley. I absolutely adore the man. But I just felt like him winning it just easily 100% confirms, MJF's going to win this, like, really soon now. You know? Like, MJF is going to win this belt, like, real soon. Full Gear, probably, if I had to guess. When it's just, if it was Bryan Danielson, I felt there could have been more of like, when's MJF going to cash in? Because obviously Bryan Danielson isn't just going to be a transitional champion. Like this Jon Moxley reign, so transitional. But I feel like if Bryan Danielson had it, you could have had a thing where, when's MJF going to cash in now? Because, Bryan's not just going to be transitional. And I felt like maybe Bryan Danielson could have won it here and then held it for the rest of the year. And then in the new year, MJF would cash in. But with the Jon Moxley thing, it's way more predictable, I feel. And sometimes predictability isn't a bad thing, because, we all want MJF to be champion. But it's just, I don't know. Jon Moxley's had 3 runs now. This is now his 3rd run, so. Then we move on to Rampage with Sting and Darby versus the House of Black in a no DQ tag team match. Real fun, this match. Sting and Darby attacked House of Black during their entrance. We had a spot where Sting was going to dive off the turnbuckle onto Buddy Matthews on the table, who was laying on tables, but Brody King pushed him, and Sting went flying through one table and hit his head on the other one, which was very scary. Eventually, Buddy Matthews tied Sting up, put him in a chair, was about to nail him with the baseball bat, but the Great Muta showed up to make the save, misted Buddy Matthews. Sting nails him with the Scorpion Death Drop, and he and Darby win. It was then confirmed on Twitter that Sting in January will be going to Noah for the Great Muta's final show, and that just rules. Action Bronson and Hook defeated 2.0. This match was really short, really sweet. Action Bronson, he didn't look bad in this match at all, but that's because they limited what he did. He just did shoulder blocks and the power slam, Hulk took most of the brunt of the offense in this. I mean, so yeah, real fun. They did a double Hakajame, Red Rum, I guess, to 2.0 to win the match. Then Wardlow and Samoa Joe faced the premier athletes of Tony Storm and Josh Woods in a tag match. This match was really quick. Wardlow got injured, you can tell. And Josh Woods did like a double on the outside, and Wardlow landed wrong on his leg, and he looks like he's injured, which, oh no. Because then it was just all Samoa Joe and Tony Nese. Samoa Joe hit him with the Muscle Buster and won. After the match, Josh Woods attacked Samoa Joe. Wardlow made the save, then he did some power bombs to Mark Sterling, and there we go. Then we had Jungle Boy versus Rey Fenix. This was a great match. Easily match, well, I don't know if it was match of the night, but it was really good. They went 3 commercials. We got 3 segments of this match, but it was great. They were just chopping each other, doing high-flying spots. This match had everything, pretty much. In the end, Rey Fenix went for his, what do you call it? It's like a muscle buster, but then he spins around and nails him in like a driver. But Jungle Boy reversed that into a roll-up and won. And it seems like he's going to be called Jack Perry, and Jungle Boy is his nickname again. So that's what we're doing. After the match, Christian showed up, distracting Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus gave him a chokeslam, and there we go. Then we had Eddie Kingston versus Sammy Guevara. Eddie Kingston won this match with Stretch Plump, but he wouldn't let go at the end, so Paul Turner reversed the decision. And there we go. That was that. Then Jade Cargill defended her TBS championship against Diamante. This was a squash. We all knew Diamante wasn't winning, but I didn't think they would actually make her look like a complete chump. After the match, Trina slapped Diamante down and raised Jade Cargill's hand, saying, like, Jade Cargill's the best. Then we had the Golden Ticket Battle Royale, where the winner would get a future title shot at Jon Moxley. It's sometime in October. Is it? I think it's the 18th. Right? I think it's the 18th. The 18th of October, which will be a Tuesday Dynamite. The winner of this match will face Jon Moxley for the belt there. The final 4 was Hangman Page, Roosh, Jay Lethal, and who is the last one? I am forgetting who the last one was. I am blanking out who the last person was. But it was Jay Lethal, Hangman Page, Roosh. Someone else is the final 3. The final 4. Oh, it might have been Penta. I don't know. But in the end, Hangman Page hit Roosh with the Deadeye on the apron and eliminated Roosh. So Hangman Page wins the Battle Royal. I'm like, when it was down to these 2, I wasn't really like excited anymore, because I'm like, well, we've had Roosh versus Mox before, and Hangman versus Mox, that'll be good. It's just like, I would have loved if it was someone new to the world title scene, which is why I was rooting for Jay Lethal. I'm like, Jay Lethal versus Mox, that'd be good. It's fresh. Jay Lethal hasn't had a world title shot. Give Jay Lethal a shot, but no. Hangman Page versus Mox, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be real good, but again, both these guys have been world champs before. And then in the main event, Powerhouse Hobbs was Ricky Starks lights out match. This match was real good. Ricky Starks speared Powerhouse Hobbs through a table. Powerhouse Hobbs. Ricky Starks was gonna hit him with a Rochambeau onto chairs that were like positioned up, but Powerhouse Hobbs reversed it, and Ricky just landed back first onto those. Powerhouse Hobbs, he removed one of the light fixtures from one of the tunnels on the stage. I was going to hit Ricky with it, but of course he didn't. Ricky hit him with the Rochambeau, and Ricky Starks wins, finally beating Powerhouse Hobbs. There we go. Overall, Dynamite was way better than Rampage, but Rampage was still fun. Overall, I give Grand Slam 2022 a solid 8.5 out of 10. It was fun. And AEW is known for making me just have fun. And that's all I want, because that's all I want in wrestling, is just to have fun. And that's that. That's Grand Slam. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I liked it. Real good.